Okay, let's just get right into it. The DJ, cue screen record.
So apparently, 1 minute they love you, and the next minute they're diagnosing you with 14 disorders that they read about online during their coffee break. Because
Okay, before we even get started, he's already reading as very condescending, very like, oh, how dare they, like already throwing those passive aggressive jabs, like when they're on their coffee break and diagnosing you with all these things that they just came up with. They didn't go to school to do this. It's like, all right, you're already a little bit hot and heavy, relationship cardiologist. Let's see where this goes.
now apparently your child moonlights as a therapist for you, but without a degree, without experience.
He's low-key a comedian though. I bet like when he was in middle school, he was one of the kids at the table who was like joking and joining on everybody. And now listen, like I don't have no bad blood against this man. I don't even know him. We're just reacting to commentary. So no reason to get all up in your feelings over here.
And with a hefty surcharge of disrespect. Oh, and they're grown now. See, grown enough to criticize, but not grown enough to turn down a free home-cooked meal. Car repair money.
But first of all, tell me, who would ever turn down a fresh home cooked meal by someone that they trust? Now, I will tell you that there are a lot of people who, if they invited me over to eat at their house, I would just not even respond. So like, don't misunderstand. But if you're on good terms with someone, why would you not accept a home cooked meal? Like, what are you saying, dude?
Or laundry service. And some of y'all kids, they got more loyalty for strangers on TikTok than they do for you. Oh, they loyal to everybody but the one paying their cell phone bill. Oh, they be out here telling folks that you toxic, but they living rent-free in your toxic house.
I do to some level understand if you are, talking about the person that you're living with while you're living there. I think it could cause some tension. Doesn't mean that you're right or wrong, there's that, but I can see how that could cause some tension. And though that person that you're living with being toxic, is probably the main issue.
About I'm protecting my peace while using your Wi-Fi and eating your groceries. Apparently, that ain't causing distress. And they also riding around in the car that you're paying insurance for. And an apology from them is so rare that it's like a unicorn riding a bicycle. If you actually manage to get one, you best laminate it. And then you better hang it on the wall because it's probably the last time that you're going to get one. See, you remember the birthday parties, the braces, the ballet lessons. They remember that you once told them no, that they couldn't.
Is this a monologue? Like, what are we really doing here? This is just so performative. Anyway, I mean, whatever, dude. Like, I don't know. The thing is, what this is really boiling down to is that a lot of people are just hurting. The parents are hurt, the children are hurt, the adult children are hurt. All of this is hurt, but the parents have to also take accountability for the fact that just because perhaps you did try your best or you did this or you did that, maybe it wasn't enough. And just because you sacrificed doesn't mean that your children should have to pay the price of your sacrifice. They didn't ask to be here. I mean, depending on what you believe, but you created the gateway for them to come through. And so did you have to sacrifice for them depending on how your life choices and how your life started out? Perhaps, but that's not your child's fault. So having resentment at them for not appreciating how much you sacrificed, they don't know what your life was like. There's nothing you could do to show them exactly what your life was like. So they won't understand fully your perspective. But instead, children just want you, even as an adult, to acknowledge what you did. Acknowledge that even though you may have done your version of your best, it doesn't mean that it was good enough. It doesn't mean that you didn't still hurt your child. It doesn't mean that you weren't still a turd parent sometimes. It doesn't necessarily mean that you were a bad parent all the time. But if your child feels compelled not to speak to you anymore, that should show you something. That should be enough to at least cause you to look in the mirror and say, is there anything I could have done better?
lots of December. And somehow, because of that now, they need therapy. That same kid that used to send you blurry selfies 14 times a day now takes 3 to 5 business days to respond to a simple, "How are you?" text. See, you thought you told them to say please and thank you, which now apparently translates into no contact and...
Okay. There was another one I want to pair with this video.
The estrangement epidemic. So I did a TikTok 3 days ago and asked moms, parents to comment and tell me, share their story. Did their child actually come to them and ask them to talk and sit down like adults and have a conversation to work it out? 3 days later, over 900 comments, and I'm still getting comments every day. 900 comments. 99.9% of those comments were absolutely not, did not try to talk. And the ones that did try to talk were not civil, not nice.
So I will just say, like, for those parents who said that their children didn't try to talk, have you ever created a space where your child felt safe enough to speak to you and voice their opinion? Or when they voiced their opinion, did you throw hands at them? Or when they voiced their opinion, did you yell at them or belittle them? Your children will voice their opinion if they feel safe enough to voice their opinion. Your children will voice that they disagree with you if you've created a safe environment for them to do so as children. So now that they are adults, probably what's happening in that situation is perhaps you've always blown up at your child and reacted. And so now they don't even want to bring it up to you because they don't want to hear what you have to say about it because it's going to turn into a drama. And maybe your child doesn't want to deal with that. So instead, they just ghost you because it's easier than dealing with your reactive response. That's what typically I've noticed in that situation. And I am thankful I have parents that I can voice my concerns with, so I know that it's possible. I have parents that if I don't agree with what they're saying or doing, that I can express that. So I know it's possible.
And their approach with their parents. So parents, let it go. Let it go. It's overwhelmingly clear. These estranged kids do not want to work it out. They want to place blame on us. They don't want to take any...
Who else are you supposed to place blame on other than the parent? What? I know people are going to be mad about this, but it's true. Who's supposed to take the blame? The child? You want the child in the situation to take the blame for something you created? That's lunacy. That's lunacy. And then they might say, oh, well, my parent did this. Just because you dealt with a certain amount of trauma and traumatic experiences and things doesn't mean that your child wants to have that same experience as you. And they have that right. And the least I would think it would make you reflect and say, like, what happened? What happened? It might be painful to admit that perhaps you didn't do everything right. But, that's the first step of healing. And if you take accountability and make active steps to heal and grow, your child will likely let you back in. But doing this is not the way. Curly girl dreams. And I'm just saying these things based off of a video, okay?
Accountability for what they've done in their part. We're not perfect, and I'm sure we have some things to apologize for.
Yeah.
But we can't apologize if our children refuse to talk. So quit beating yourself up.
Fair.
Quit being sick. Quit making your health bad. Quit killing yourself with thoughts of what you did wrong. No, you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody is a perfect parent. And you need to stop. You need to stop.
But instead, the core message here, if we're being honest about wanting to heal the relationship, it needs to not be, oh, what you need to do. It also needs to be like, recognize that perhaps you did mess up. Start there and work towards healing. Figure out why. And eventually, perhaps your children will want to talk to you again, or maybe they won't, and they have that right. But there has to be some level of accountability. That's what I'm missing from this lady. I feel like she's like on that line of being accountable, but she's just not all the way there where she's fully accepting accountability and responsibility for the situation. But she's like right there. She's like, nah.
Not beating yourself up. Go read the comments on my TikTok. If you're a strange parent, go read the comments. Go through and see every single one of those stories of no, their child did not come to them in a civil manner and try to talk to them. No.
And here's the thing. Here's why I feel strong about this. Because I have been the person who's come to an older person in a civil way and it turned into nonsense. So sometimes you just get to the point where you're like, I don't even want you to know what's going on because I already have to deal with this. I don't want to deal with you too. Like, so if your child doesn't feel comfortable saying stuff to you, and when they do say it to you, if they just erupt, you should evaluate what you taught them. Where did they get that from? Because it's from somewhere.
Not 900 parents have not listened to their child. All these estranged kids go on here. They've tried to talk to you. You don't listen. Blah blah blah. You're the problem. You're the narc. No, You're never going to convince me that. Estrangement is a
and that's the problem. It's because you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. But perhaps, what if it's true? I'm not saying it is because we don't know her full situation, but like, what if your child does have a point? And it's crazy to just like not even consider it.
Rapidly growing epidemic. It's cult-like and it's disgusting. So parents,
oh
become
Lord. Oh Lord. That's just like when men will say, I couldn't, my kid thinks I'm absentee because her mama won't let me around, but like when you are around, you're not even there. So make it make sense.
And the parent that you were, you're not perfect. Quit beating yourself up. Nobody's perfect. Let it go. Let them do what they want to do with their lives. It's their decision.
She's missing and heal. Let it go and heal. Figure out why you were behaving that way. Figure out what you did to your child. Analyze it and grow. Because you might not be able to fix the relationship with your child, but at least you can fix the relationship with your inner self because obviously you have some healing to do. I mean, dang.
To walk away from us. Enjoy your life. Find your peace. And stop crying every single day over kids that don't give a flying hoot about us. So, know that I'm on your side and
You can tell she's sad though. She's talking a big game, but she is gutted, okay? My girl is very, very, very sad, and I believe that she feels guilty. I'm not saying that she does, but that's just what the vibe is giving off. She does seem very sad, and it is a sad situation when families can't get along. It is a very sad situation when parents and children separate, and sometimes it's necessary too.
I'm here to support you, and that you have a huge community on this TikTok.
Well, at least they can come together.
Hurting and going through exactly what you're going through. You are not alone. Have a great day.
Okay, bye. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment below, let me know what you thought about it. Please like and subscribe. It does mean a lot, and I do read like all the comments. Bye.